Develop project charter, the first process in project integration management. I'm recording a series of 6 videos on project integration management that covers the following uh, tasks from the exam content outline. So close to 7 tasks. In the next 6 videos, I'll be kind of covering all of these topics with respect to your PMP examination. In today's video, we will try to learn about develop project charter, and the objectives for this video are discuss develop project charter process in detail, the input tools and techniques based on the exam content outline, explain project selection techniques, examples from my career. I'll be sharing some examples of my career, and then differentiate between the charter and external documents, cover PMP exam concepts, note the subtle differences, explain the net present value. So make a note of this. Where I see your pen my icon over here. So those are important concepts. Make a note of those points. Know the subtle difference between the different concepts that will help you answer many questions on the PMP examination. I'll also explain the net present value in detail, following with a mind map on the entire process for the project charter. So that will help you understand the develop project charter in detail. Okay, so about me, my name is Arham Faraaz. I am a IT delivery manager. I've been an author, speaker, adult practitioner. I have passed my PMB certification in 2016. I've also done a PMI ACP certification, CSM, ICIDL certification. I have a passion for teaching. I thought can help people pass PMP examination. So I've been uploading videos on YouTube, both long form and short videos. Short videos have got important concepts, like 100 plus short videos, 100 plus concepts of PMP examination. You can watch those long form videos, explain you in detail of the different processes and the important concepts of PMP examination. So that's about me. Let's get started off. Okay, so now let's say we want to develop the project charter. So before the charter, what happens? Before the project charter happens, the organization looks in for a business need or what project should be working on. So there should be some business need for them to start a project. So first comes a business need, then based on the business need, a business case is prepared, a statement of work is prepared. Like for example, as working in a services organization, wherein we had regular projects we were working on, like key business and projects and BAO projects. And then all of a sudden we wanted to enter into the engineering side of the market. Now there was a business need. We wanted to build capability on the engineering side. So then we prepared a business case, SOW was done, and then we started bidding for it. And then we got into that particular engineering projects, okay, with our customers. Okay, so that's important. And now once the business case or the statement of work is ready, we prepare the project charter. I'm just giving a high level before I go into detail. After the project charter comes project scope statement. Okay, before that comes the project management plan. But this is what happens at a high level when you're trying to work on a project. It starts with business need, and on day-to-day work, you'll start looking at the project scope statement. So between the business need and the project scope statement is your project charter. Okay, so today's video is focusing on like how do we develop the project charter. Let's try to understand that. So now consider two parties. One is the buyer and one is the seller. Okay, so I'm just putting out things here from you. Okay, let's go ahead and see. So let's say the buyer needs a service. Okay, so buyer needs a service. Okay, now to get the service done, so he or she prepares a RFP, request for proposal, and then they submit this. That's a business need for this to be done. And after that, once the RFP is gone, so the sellers come, they who give the services, they give a response to the RFP, they prepare a business case, and then after that, they are selected by the buyer. Okay, once they meet the criteria. Now, once the buyer seller part is done, these projects could be done within the organization also if you have the capability or the skills to be done. But if you don't have the capability and the skills to be done, then these can be done outside of the organization. You go and find sellers. Okay. Now, once this is done, now you have to look into what kind of project is this. Is this a small project or is this a large project? A small project could be with a team size of say 8 to 10 people, or maybe 300 to 400K dollars over a duration of like say 4 to 6 months. That could be a small project. So what happens on small projects? So stakeholders, less management efforts, team, less diversity, communication channels are simple. Challenge from geography, time zones are less, currency exchange rates less effective project. Activities are simple, network diagrams are simple, metrics tracking is easy, contract vendors, very few vendors what we need to manage, and risk management is simple. So that's on a small project. So not much issues on small projects, but then again you will have dependencies risk. If you have to manage that. These can be important projects, not that small projects are not important, but those can be managed, need to be managed properly to ensure that there is no risk and issues that happen on the project and customers happy. Now similarly, what happens on large project is a different ball game. You need to have put more management effort. A large project could be uh, with more than, like, say, 100 plus people, or could be like $10 million spread across different geographies. So multiple communication channels, right? More diversity on the team. So different time zones, virtual meetings, getting people aligned is difficult. Currency exchange rates may affect more effect on the project. Okay. Activity estimates are complex, network diagrams are complex, metrics tracking is complex. Contract to vendors as multiple need to be more detailed. So based on the kind of projects, all these things could be complex. Like for example, I was working on one project, not the like 100 plus people, but at least we had like 35 plus people on the project. We had a back-end services team, we had a .NET team, we had a front-end team, we had analytics team. So me, being the project manager, I had to work with all of these different teams, align them, ensure that everything was working together to build the website for the customer, right? So those are some of the challenges, and it was a bit challenging compared to a small project like which happened over 5 to 6 months. This was a longer project, like more than a year. What we did, it was more challenging. Okay, so the charters of these projects will be totally different. Right? The large projects charters will be different, small will be different based on the amount of detail you put into the charter. Okay, now as a project manager, you must know why the project was selected. Okay, one must know why the project was selected. You should not be in the gray zone that you don't know why the project was selected. You should ask this question to the sponsor or the people on the leadership team, like, why was this project selected? Why are we even doing this project? Okay, so project selection criteria now, very important. So based projects are not selected randomly. Project selection occurs outside of the project lifecycle boundary, and projects could be selected based on the business benefit or the business need, market demand, return on investment, legal needs, social needs. Right? These are multiple reasons why projects could be selected. Okay, whatever your organization decides, they'll select a project based. It will not be just in random. One find you feel good and you want to start a project. It doesn't happen like that. Okay, projects are selected based on these criteria. Okay, now there are some numerical models for the project selection type. So for the first one is net present value. Okay, if you have got two projects, let's say the net present value of one of the project is say 100K today, and another which is for say for 4 years. Another project, let's say the net present value is say 80K today, which is just for like 2 years. Which project would you select? You would select the project with the higher net present value. Remember always that. Okay, a project with highest net present value is considered. Number of years are irrelevant. Okay, important concepts for you to understand for the examination. Now, if you want to understand net present value, you need to understand two more values. That is, one is the future value and the present value. Okay, net present value is like inflows minus outflows, but before that, you need to understand these two things. Okay, future value. Future value is like how much will I have if I invest $100 at 10% annual return. Okay, after 1 year, it becomes $110. Right? That's the future value. So $100 becomes $110 with 10% annual returns after 1 year. Okay, that's the future value. Here things are increasing. Okay, and present value is like how much money should I invest today to have $110 at 10% annual income rate of return. So for that, it's like you're dividing 110 by 1.1. That's from that 100, right? So the present value is obtained by dividing something. Okay. The next thing is internal rate of return. The rate of return on investment, higher the rate, the better is it. So let's say you've got two projects, you're investing some money. One project gives you like one, say 20% returns, another gives you say 30% returns, right? You'll select the project based on the higher rate of return for on your investment. Okay, that's important. Make note of that. Then payback period. Okay, payback period. So let's say you have got two projects. You will consider the project which has got a shorter payback period of time. Okay, let's say a project is going to pay you back, say 100K in 1 year. Another project pays you back, say 120K in say 1.5 year. Okay, you not select the project with 120K payback period. You'll select the project period with the lower payback periods of 100K for 1 year. Okay, so that's about payback period. So shorter the payback period, it is good. Okay, That's about payback period. Then cost benefit analysis is compares the expected cost of a project to the potential benefit it could bring organization. Benefit cost ratio is greater than one means benefits are greater than the cost. Okay. For the amount of money you're investing on the project, let's say you are having some benefit, and then that's a good benefit cost ratio. 1.1 on 1 is always good to the 10% benefit, right? So most of the times this happens. Okay, people take strategic decisions, they put some investment resources, they say this is cost benefit analysis, we can get more business out of it, and those all come under this kind of analysis. Okay, the next is economic value added. Project and more value than the initiative cost. Okay, anything more than what you have initial cost for the project is all promising, so that's the economic value added. Okay, types of cost. Types of cost very important for PMP examination. The first one is opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is the cost, like for example, you were supposed to do a project, say that was say 50K, or $50K was the value of the project. You left that project and instead you went and did another project of say 100K. Okay. So what is the opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is the 50K which you left. Okay. You give one more example. Let's say you had a project of, let's say, uh, $30K, and you selected another project of, let's say, $80K. Okay. Now, what is the opportunity cost? Opportunity cost is not the subtraction of 80K minus 30K, 50K. No, it is the cost which you leave out of the project. Okay. You left the project for 30K, that is the opportunity lost. Okay. Or let's say you selected a project of say 30K and you did not do the project of say 80K. So the opportunity cost that you lost was like the 80K. Okay. So whatever you're not doing, that's the opportunity cost. Okay, remember that very subtle difference for the examination, right? Then after that, you have got next one is the sunk cost. Sunk cost is like the amount of money you had invested on project, right? That should not be a decision maker. Okay, sunk cost is like, yeah, I did that, yes, you've done that. Now don't take that as a decision maker to do if you to take the project ahead or not. Okay, that's the sunk cost in the project. You already invested the money. Now don't take that money to make a decision to go further. Then law of diminishing returns. So this is very important. So most of the times people think that by just adding more resources, it's gonna help the project. No, by adding more resources, more communication time happens. There's more complexity, so the returns start diminishing. Okay, so that's law of diminishing returns. Then finally, working capital is the amount of money you have to work on the project. Okay, depreciation, there's something called a straight line depreciation, wherein you have got depreciation that happens in linear fashion. Accelerated depreciation is like, more accelerated way, so like double declining balance and some of the years. So remember these things for your PMP examination. Make a note of these things. I've put the pencil mark over here, so these are all important for PMP examination. You can get some questions in this in a very twisted manner, answer situational questions that will help you answer and get good marks. Okay. So during the building of the project, developing project charter, you have to have take care of the constraints. What are the constraints that are important for this project? You should know what are the assumptions. Okay, constraints limit team's options. Assumptions are assumed to be true but may not be true. Okay, remember these things. Now, uh, before the project charter, the input what you have is the project statement of work, or the SOW, or it could be the business case or any other signed document. Okay, so then customer and buyer can send the statement of the work. Sponsor needs to review it, come on the product scope, finalize the product scope, and find out how it fits into the organization. Okay, and used to develop project charter. So this becomes an input to develop the project charter. Okay, so when does the project charter get started? Once the contract is signed, once the SOW is signed, the project charter starts off. Okay, now once the project starter work starts, okay, so the charter is developed by the project sponsor. Okay, he or she can collaborate with the project manager and then build the project charter also, but it's a sole responsibility sponsor to build the project charter. So the sponsor calls for meetings with the subject matter experts, from strategy, technical experts. A lot of data is gathered from the past projects, from agreements, from business documents, from business cases, benefits management plan, historical data. All of these documents give you an idea like why was this project being done, what is the benefit, right? What are we trying to do here? Have we done these things in the past or not? Or can we start the work? Will you be getting paid or not, right? And then they will have a lot of meetings to be done, a lot of facilitation needs to be done. Okay, focus group meetings will be called, brainstorming, interviews, facilitation techniques, all of this will be taken care. And finally, there'll be difference of views, so you will have to resolve conflict management. All these are tools and techniques used by the sponsor to build the project charter or develop the project charter. Okay, so things like why doing the charter, who will come into the charter, what are we trying to deliver, when we want to deliver, how is it delivered, what are the risks, what are the assumptions, what is the criteria for the exit of the project, and who has the authority to work on this project, right? So these things is what we're discussing in these meetings. So that's how we develop the project charter. So develop project charter is the process of developing a document that formally authorizes, okay? Project, project charter is a formal authorization document, authorizes a project or a phase and documenting initial requirements to satisfy stakeholders' needs and expectations. Okay, so process group is initiating process group. Inputs are business documents, business case agreements, enterprise environmental factors, and organizational process assets. Tools and techniques we just discussed, expert judgment, data gathering, interpersonal skills, meetings. All of this together, you sit and you get the project charter output and the assumption log for the project. Okay. So how does the project help? The project helps the charter helps the project to align with the organization strategy. The project charter talks at a high level about the objective, the scope, the duration, cost, the risk. The project manager will be the milestones is input to the project management plan, links with the organization strategy. Very important to remember what does the project charter do. It talks at a high level about all these things. Okay. So that's about it. So this is a simple mind map on the project charter. So project charter I spoke, talks a high level about all those things. The link with our strategy is the input to the project plans, gives you the purpose of the project. Okay, so it's authorized by the sponsor. Project charter doesn't change or anything changes to the project charter. You'll have to go from change request, right? The formal documents, the internal document, it gives sets the boundaries of the project, no cost associated in building this document. It also tells you like authorizes to the resources like office space, laptops, desktops, travel, all those things, right? And it assigns a PM to deliver the project. That's the mind map on the developed project charter. So that's the video on project charters. In the next video, I'll be talking to you about developing a project management plan. Watch this videos a couple of times, make note of the important concepts. I wish you always for a PMP examination. This is Arham Faraaz. Thank you for watching our video. Bye-bye.